Alrighty. Hello everyone and welcome back to my reaction to Frieren Beyond Journeys. And last we saw Frieren and Party absolutely obliterate every single enemy that they faced in this fight. What I am excited to see in the episodes that we are going to be watching today is the aftermath of that fight. I want to see if all the soldiers who were essentially controlled by Aura, if that control is going to shift over to Frieren or if the spell is going to be cancelled. Is Frieren going to take over the scales or is she going to let it be or is she going to destroy it? That's going to be really fun to see. The Graph is obviously going to pardon Frieren and potentially give her a free reign over the city. Let them rest for a few days, if you will, before they continue on their journey. And while I have been enjoying the adventure and the fight sequences, it's been really juicy and really good. I would love to go back to some of that coziness that Frieren represents. Not to say that the fights are bad, and it's not like I want to replace one with the other, but it would be good if we have like a good wave or a good flow between both of these two thingies. It would be really nice to kind of just allow the characters to relax a bit before they inevitably go off and fight more demons as they keep going on towards the Demon King's castle. I don't want there to be a lot of demons that they have to fight off though, because it might make the journey that Frieren, Himmelisen and Heather took 80 years ago seem almost redundant, with the fact that all their efforts kind of went to waste eventually. The thing about it is though, if it does end up happening like that, I wouldn't be too mad about it, mostly because that's how the world exists. It cycles. So it would be fun to see either ways. I won't be too mad about it if they do end up having to fight the new Demon King or Queen. All that being said though, I am really hyped to get started to see the aftermath of Frieren, Fern and Stark defeat their enemies. Let's go. Let's get into it. So she didn't take the scales and she released the spell on all of those soldiers. Nice. I mean, I never assumed that she wouldn't. It's just nice to see confirmation. Where's Stark? Is he like dying from blood loss somewhere? Because he was very badly hurt. I hope they didn't forget about him. And then Fern is like, oh my god, we had another person.
感謝する。北側諸国の英傑たちによく敬意を払ってくれた。
I'm glad he recognized that effort she must have put in not doing anything at all whatsoever. I know the effort of not fighting with like really strong spells and stuff like that probably comes from Himmel having scolded her, but like, hey.
ヒンメル様はフリーレン様のしつけが上手ですね。しつけって言うの。フェルン、シュタルク、偉いぞ。
丁重に弔ってやれ。 彼女たちを町まで送る。はっ
I hope he doesn't end up finding his son on that battlefield though, because that would be sad and gruesome. Because this is something I was talking about in the previous episode. If they do end up fighting one another, if the Graph brings his own forces, they will have to fight family. So I hope that doesn't happen. It happened.
わしは今日ほど誰かに感謝したことはない。
Shut up. That kind of broke my heart. The fact that he is glad because Frieren at least returned his son's body to him.
この魔導書は
偽物。
そうだ。口伝により継承されたこの町の防護結界魔法とは似ても似つかぬものだ。
So was he like testing her? Because he was like, just so you know, I am giving this to you, but also at the same time, and she was like, don't bother. I know it's fake. Don't bother about it.
魔王討伐の旅立ちの時、痛い目にあったもので。
Is she recounting the fact of how the king wanted to execute Himmel and I think it was Eisen? Because they disrespected the king or something, so they were like about to be beheaded and then Hyther and Frieren had to be like, can you not? Like, we'll go save the demon king or something like that.
懐かしいな。ヒンメルの泣き叫ぶ顔。
死罪だなんて大げさな。
それとなクソガキ。わしにタメ口叩くのはこの町では重罪だ。
悪いなおっさん。
He was like, this doesn't sound right. And then immediately he realized that the count did tell him that, hey, you're talking way too casually to me. And he was like, whatever, man, I have to save your life right now. But then now that he's thinking about it, he's like, am I going to get executed for this? Like, there is a possibility that this might happen. Pretty sure he's going to be like, stop, please don't kill me. I will hunt more demons for you. What else do you want? Alright. We are back with a costume change because life happened. You all know this already. But I am hyped to get back to it. It is kind of hilarious the fact that Stark almost got executed pretty much like Aizen did when they started their whole journey because he was rude. Not even rude, he was just casual with the count. Crazy stuff.
裏庭の木、切り終えました。
That was absolutely perfect comedic timing, okay? He was genuinely like, Frieren sama save me.
まあ、あれだ。あの時言ったのは小僧を逃がすための方便だ。
よかったですね、シュタレク様。気絶してる。
どうかゆっくりしていってくれ。
Even if Frieren would have stayed, okay, I'm pretty sure she's going to go out and go, hey, so Fern, had fun, right? You want to relax for some time? We can relax on the carriage ride away from here. I don't want to deal with all this nonsense. And Fern will also be like, sounds like a great idea. As long as we cut short this journey as much as we can, I am here for it. Let's go.
それほどでもないけど。
That was such a big hamburger. Oh my god, I wanted to eat it. It was this big. That's exactly how big I need to make my mouth to have eaten that hamburger. Crazy.
あなたを包んで結ぼう夜を越えて海にを咲いてでは行きましょうか。
All jokes aside, I genuinely enjoyed the fact that they got some time to relax and just rest here. And we got to see them rest as well. Because with Himmel and Party, we were often seeing glimpses of their core adventures. And we have only ever seen Frieren relax when she's on her own. So this is like a really fun, cool addition. And I genuinely like that a lot. Because we are adventuring with them. So we get to see them relaxing during that adventure as well. Oh. Let's go.
フリーレン様、まさか無資格の闇魔法使いだったんですか？闇医者みたいに言わないでよ。
Wild if she is unregistered, because in her eyes, she is like, bro, I've lived for such a long time that at this point, there are so many new organizations coming up, restricting and registering the mages and all of that jazz that it is simply just a bother for me to go about finding out more about this stuff. I can simply just run around, do magic and move from one place to another. I haven't had any trouble so far. Pretty sure I won't have in the future as well. So yeah.
何ですか？その骨董品は。
北側諸国最大の魔法都市、オイサーストだな。
I'm pretty sure Frieren won't have too much of a problem with that, considering that if I remember correctly, this city is on the way to Ende. So hey, works.
グラナト家はこの恩を決して忘れん。
Erect a statue in her, Fern's and Stark's honor, maybe? Maybe do that? Or give them a carriage at least?
魔王軍との戦いで最も多くの人を殺したのは北側諸国の冬だよ。
I love that tiny bit of information added to the past because extreme weather is extremely dangerous, especially to people who are not used to said weather. Hashtag hypothermia.
ほらね、迷った。
Blast wind straight up. It will disperse like this and it will clear out some space. Don't shoot it right in front of you because if there's someone in front of you, they are gonna end up dying. So shoot it up. Best chance.
シュベア山脈に入る前に遭難と。
Like a ceiling of snow. Crazy. It's essentially calling it a difficult journey because the mountain range is difficult to cross over. Crazy. Wild.
寝たら死にますよ。
ジャンボベリースペシャルってこんなに小さかったっけ？
この強風だと魔法で飛ばして運ぶわけにもいかないね。多分どっかに飛んでっちゃう。
Tie a rope around him and then tie a rope around your own body so that while you're transporting him, your body weight holds him down. Like a kite, if you will.
置いていっていいですか？我慢して。ふもとまで行けば避難小屋があるはず。それ、80年前の知識ですよね。
That was genuinely my thought, okay? Is that information even accurate at this point?
まだ定期的に管理されているみたいだね。
How much you all wanna bet it was actually Himmel and group who constructed this shelter to ensure that anyone who needs safety can get that safety there. And also probably because they needed it themselves at that point in time. Fun touch to the past it would be if it were.
温まってきた！
Just make sure that you don't exercise to the point of passing out because then no one will be able to take care of you. But clever.
中に変態がいるからです。
変態とは侵害だな。
Right? Like, I know you're being protective and all of that jazz, but like, imagine calling someone a hentai right off the bat. Like, at least get to know him before. Also, is he an elf or a nature spirit? Probably an elf. That's why Fern was like, nope, yoink her back and run away somewhere far away. Where will you run? In that blizzard out there? Girl.
文句のクラフトだ。
魔法使いフリーレン。
I love how they have like Frieren the mage, Fern the mage. Would I be Madhurima the reactor? I'm glad that she met an elf. I kind of have a feeling that he might have gone to Areole and so he might be able to boost Frieren's belief that it does exist and that she can actually go and meet Himmel and probably Hater there. Hopefully not Aizen there.
シュタルク様の体温が。
I don't know how true this is because I read it in a fanfiction, okay? But when you are hypothermic, you need to first start heating someone's body up with body heat. And then slowly bring them into like a warmer space essentially to ensure that their body doesn't experience like a solid shock and end up. So I don't know how they're going to achieve that. I do hope that the new elf dude whose name I've understandably already forgotten is potentially going to be able to help them out. Fingers crossed. I mean, I know he's not going to die. He's in season 2's poster, so he's not going to die. I just don't want him to suffer is what I am hoping for.
それに、あんなに大きいジャンボベリースペシャル。
He saw a big jumbo berry special and he saw Aizen. I'm pretty sure he's like, oh shit, I'm dead. I am dead. This is the end. Fair of him to assume that, okay. At this point in time, absolutely fair of him to assume that.
Huh?
He saw it and then he was like, you know what, at this point in time, let me just close my eyes. Whatever. I don't even care anymore. Let it happen.
あ、
騒がしいな。
せっかく人肌で温めてやったというのに。
Poor man, okay? Everyone is assuming the worst of him when he's just trying to stay alive. Stay alive. But yeah, sucks. Sucks to be him.
おっさんいい体してんな。
シュタルク様。
いや、そういう意味じゃなくて、あんた、とんでもなく強いだろ。
Pretty sure he's going to be like given a fight. I do wonder if his internal monologue, okay, and this is so messy of me, but I wonder if his internal monologue was, if this was supposed to happen, why didn't it happen with Fern? I know they're not in a relationship. I know nothing like that exists right now, but let me fill up his inner monologue. I don't know, you don't know, he doesn't know. Let me have some fun.
でも、名のある文句ってのは間違いねえだろ。
このままシュベア山脈を越えるのは自殺行為だし、ここでしばらくは足止めかな。
俺もお前のことなんてこれっぽっちも知らん。
But that is wild. Does that mean he's relatively younger, if you will? Because I am pretty sure everyone knows about Frieren from what Himmel and Party achieved by getting rid of the Demon King. So he's relatively new or he's a hermit. He's probably been in like some kind of a meditation thingy where he was undisturbed for the past 90, 100 years or something like that. I am assuming. I loved that though everyone's slowly starting to pray before eating, and it's not even like Frieren has suddenly changed in her religious beliefs, okay? It's probably just seeing everyone participate in an activity, you often end up participating in it. Not from the sense of fear of missing out, if you will, but more so from the sense of might as well. There's no harm in it. If that is the intention that they're trying to show here, it kind of touches on what Aizen and Hater were talking about, as well as Himmel was talking about. There's no harm in believing it. So yeah, fun. I like it.
もうすぐ半年になるな。
You know what this is making me think though, is Frieren could have essentially stayed behind at the Granat region to ensure that all of them would have survived. Like they could have stayed for a longer duration, especially when it started snowing and it was just the start of their journey and she knew how drastic the snow could be. She could have just turned around and been like, you know what, let's stay here. I don't want to risk it. I mean, yeah, they ended up meeting Kraft and Kraft ended up having enough resources to help them survive. But still, you know what I mean?
若いな。俺も昔はそうだった。いてくれなきゃ困るんだよ。俺の成してきた偉業も正義も知っている奴は皆死に絶えた。だから俺は死んだら天国で女神様に褒めてもらうんだ。
Yo, I thought he was younger than her. He's older than her. And that's so wild, the fact that everyone who knew the amazing feats he has achieved is no longer around. So he needs to believe in the fact that the goddess at least will. Like, if no one else, at least the goddess is going to remember the work that he has done and the impact that he has created in this world. And ooh, yo, that's fun. And that's sad because it also shows us what Frieren's life is going to look like after Stark and Fawn have passed away and after ages have gone by and no one remembers the amazing feats that Frieren achieved, and Frieren just becomes like a legend, if you will, like Flemme became or like Kraft became. And it's crazy because at least Flemme's name people are aware of. She is a legend, but she is a legend people are like, I kind of believe in her. Whereas Kraft, whatever his legend was, disappeared along with his name, and Frieren is going to land right in between. That's crazy. Sucks a bit.
お前が信じないって言うのなら、女神様の代わりに、俺がお前を褒めてやる。
Yo, that was such a well-written dialogue. Oh, I loved it. I will praise you instead. Oh, shut up. That's so good. Considering, and I am assuming here, okay, but I am assuming that he's really, really old. Probably way older than Frieren. Because Frieren is not aware of his name as well, right? So, it's not a replacement of the goddess, but it is someone that you can stand next to and be like, this is how old I am. And let me praise you for the amazing feats you have achieved in life. Wonderful dialogue.
私も孤児でしたから。きっと女神様も清く正しく生きた私を褒めてくださることでしょう。あなたには褒めてくれる人はいますか？身の上を話していただければ代わりに私が褒めますよ。
Shut up, okay. I love being right, but that was such a sad way to go about being right. Yikes. I also love that we are connecting a bit more with Heather. Like, we usually end up seeing Himmel whenever Frieren is like thinking about the past, but we ended up seeing a bit more of Heather, and ooh, mama. I'm pretty sure it's just like the priest's code of conduct that if someone doesn't believe in the goddess, just say that, hey, I'll praise you instead. Potentially, eventually they'll end up believing in the goddess as well. Sounds like it, but that's just me creating defenses around my heart because I don't want it to break because of this show. Yikes.
常に魔力を制限しているのに？それは血の滲むような努力の賜物に見えますが、それこそ人生をかけたような。
Shut up, he knew? Since when? Since the very start? Did he lie to the party nonetheless? Ooh. I'm glad I didn't push her like, hey, why are you doing this? Like, if someone who I randomly met is like, you are a liar, I would have just punched them, okay? So I'm glad that he didn't push her. And he's asking her very quietly. And it's not even asking her about why you're doing this. It's more so about, I see you doing this. Let me praise you for it.
一緒に旅をしていると思っているんですか？
面白い話じゃないよ。
もしかしたら、私の子供は魔法使いになるかもしれませんよ。
All I'm gonna say is shut up, okay? And so I've said it now. That's all I am saying. It's not. Okay, the thing with Frieren is it doesn't break your heart to the point of crying. I mean, it did at the very end of second episode when Frieren kind of flies up to put the crown of flowers on Himmel's head of the statue. It genuinely made me go But then the thing about Frieren is it like creates tiny cracks in your heart, and then at the randomest moment I am pretty sure it's all going to come and then, you know, sucker punch me, not in the gut, right into my heart, and then it's going to start crumbling and I'm going to start crying because gods above. The layers is what I love.
使える連中は変な奴が多いんだろうね。
Yeah, it sucks. All of us already know that this sucks, okay? I have a feeling she's going to ask him to make one for herself as well so that she can also wear the amulet. Telling you, it's all priest agenda and propaganda. Say this one thing, everyone is going to end up following the goddess.
今は天国にいるよ。
Well, that was a fun episode, and I honestly wanted something exactly like this. Like I was saying at the start of this reaction, with Frieren specifically, I don't really enjoy a lot of violence, adventure, fight. It has its place, but what I initially fell in love with when it came to Frieren was the relaxation and the coziness of it all. So I love the intent behind this episode, and hopefully for the next few episodes, it will follow the same theme. I do have a feeling that we might just end up having a few more battle sequences here and there, but it won't be a major part of the episode. It would just be like a half of a half episode, so, or 1/4 of an episode. Wow, that was a very fun and roundabout way of saying that, eh? But yeah, I am enjoying this so far, and I can't wait to move on to the next episode. But before we do, if you are enjoying my content as much as I'm enjoying the relaxation and the peace that came with this episode, and seeing Stark, Fern, and Frieren just relax and chill out with the villagers and eat that really big hamburger, which I'm genuinely obsessed about, feel free to check out my Patreon, where you get early access to as well as the extended cuts of the content that I put on here. Plus, you get to cheer me on so that I can keep creating fun content for you guys to enjoy. With that being said, let's move on to the next episode. Let's go.
フリーレン様が寝てしまいそうです。
You can just float her with your mana though. Like, why do you have to like give Frieren to someone to hold on to her? Like, just float her like you did with stars. The people you don't really care about, you float them around, and the people you do, you're like, nah, I'ma carry them. I'ma carry them like a baby.
私が背負います。
なんで
Honestly, that wouldn't have convinced me. Stark is all I am saying, okay? If you just went, I would have been like, no. I love how much Fern is protective of Frieren, though I genuinely appreciate that about her. I'm pretty sure Heather, before sending Fern away, was like, hey, so just as an FYI, she's crazy. Can't take care of herself. Will fall asleep anywhere. Probably will fall asleep while she's walking. Won't get up in the morning. Can't do basic chores. Like, can't even take care of herself when she's just woken up. You need to take care of her. Please do this for me. So, pretty chaotic.
村の孤児院にハイターってムカつく奴がいてね、偽物の剣しか持っていないから偽物の勇者にしかなれないと僕に言ったんだ。
I love that Heather and Himmel were childhood friends, and Heather probably bullied Himmel. All you'll be the fake hero, it seems, because you have a fake sword. It seems crazy. Ay.
あんなことを言っていたハイターは今や酒ばかり飲んでいる偽物のソウルだ。
本物ですよ。
Be honest, you're a corrupt priest, okay? Not a real priest. I do wonder how they ended up meeting with Aizen. I hope that, I'm pretty sure they're going to show that in the future episodes, but that's fun. Is this going to be an episode solely focused on Himmel and Party? I would love that so much.
フェラン、変わるぜ。
エッチ。
なんでだよ。
Imagine trying to help out your party member, but all they think of you is a perv. When in reality, the first time they met you, they used extra vision to see how small you were. Like, listen, who's the pervert here, okay? Listen, wild. But I also kind of feel for Fern, because I think in her eyes, or even as an outsider, it looks like Fern and Frieren are a package deal, you know, they aren't to be messed with. They have cared for each other, and for Fern, at least since she was really young, she was cared for by Heather, and then she was cared for by Frieren. And so she's always going to be overprotective of Frieren. Genuinely enjoy that layer to the story.
お待ちしておりました。フリーレン様。
Look at that little kid stretching up on her tippy toes and still stretching further to stand tall to look up at Frieren. Oh, my little baby, what kind of tough life have you had? Because let's be honest, it has to be tough.
君が今の里王さん。若いね。はい。49代目です。世襲なもので。
ここが剣の里か。
Yeah, you don't tell me she's the only kid alive there, okay? That would suck. Is she the only kid alive there? Yeah, she probably is. Pretty sure her parents or something taught her about Frieren Sama and the party of heroes who came once and saved the village and saved the world. Keep an eye out for her. She's going to protect you and save you. And then she's kept that story alive to keep herself alive. See, I know I love to torture myself. I just hope that it isn't right.
この里の近くの聖域には、女神様が授けたとされる勇者の剣が刺さっていたんだ。
Excalibur! So is Himmel Arthur of Camelot? Crazy. Is Frieren his Merlin then?
半世紀後にまた来てもらう約束だったのに。温厚な私でも、さすがにブチギレですよ。
Kiddo, you weren't even alive back then. Even if she would have come, you would have zero idea if she visited the village or not.
というのが、先々代のおばあ様の遺言です。確かにそうですけれども、ちゃんとお役目を果たしてもらわないと。
I'm curious if it was Himmel who removed the sword or if it was Frieren put it. She must have removed the sword and handed it off to Himmel like, hey, so like, deal with this. I can't. I don't even wield swords, okay? I am happy with my magic stick. You do the wielding. And he kept it protected next to him for his entire life. Blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty sure she removed it. Because why else would it be her duty then? Unless Himmel was like, hey, so I can't obviously stay alive for that long. Can you just keep checking in once in a while and ensure that my duties continued even after I'm long gone? But he was alive 50 years ago, so he could have come, is all I am saying. So, yeah, no, I genuinely think it was actually Frieren who removed the sword.
出したいのは山々だったのですが。
ヒンメルは英雄だからね。
I honestly thought maybe I am wrong about it, but she spoke over the little kid to tell them that Himmel is the hero. So I am still holding on to my theory that it might just have been Frieren who pulled out the sword. The sword's still there, but it is actually the fake sword that Himmel carried.
これでお役目は終わりだね。
Nice teamwork. I know she didn't need it, but nice to see it nonetheless.
ヒンメルはこの剣を抜けなかったんだ。
今回の勇者も本物ではありませんでしたか。
いいじゃないか。偽物の勇者で。僕は魔王を倒して、世界の平和を取り戻す。
Oh, he literally went, the tool doesn't matter, the intention does. Let's go.
英雄というのはどうしても、後世の連中が勝手に美化していく。そしてそのうち、原型すらなくなってしまうんだ。
That's really deep. I do wonder if Stark will feel the curiosity within him to go up and like pull the sword out or something. I would have. See, I might just fail, but I'm already aware that I will fail. So if I do end up pulling the sword out, I will surprise myself along with other people. But at least I'll pull out the sword and I will have good stories to tell about me in the future. My boasting power will increase by 120% at that point. Oh, was that Stark's parents? Backstory. Tragic backstory.
マジ感謝。これもおばあ様の遺言です。
Thank heavens there are more people in there. Because we haven't seen anyone so far, I was genuinely like, she's the only person in that village right now. Crazy.
今日はシュタルクの18歳の誕生日だから。
なんでそういうこと事前に教えてくれないんですか？私、何も準備していませんよ。
She told you now. You can still go out and get them gifts for him if you want to. You're going to a store, right? Like, it's not like you could have hidden it somewhere in your bags or something like that. I mean, do they have infinity bags to carry a lot of possessions? That would be really cool if they did. But yeah.
ちなみにフリーレン様は何をプレゼントするつもりなんですか？
Yeah, right. Why should she tell you? You'll steal that present. Amma not tell you what present I'm giving to that person. Think it through. I'm sure it's definitely somehow connected to, I mean, whatever present Fern is going to give him, or I think even Frieren is going to give him, is going to take him back to the past. We're going to see a bit more of his flashback.
とっておきだよ。
Yo, she was genuinely so excited for that. She was waiting for Fern to ask her. She literally catapulted across the bed. Crazy.
服だけ溶かす薬。男ってのはね、こういうの渡しておけば喜ぶんだよ。って先生が言ってた。
Ma'am, your sensei kind of wild. That is not an appropriate gift to give to men. Let alone men, that is not an appropriate gift to give to your student or someone in your party. At least let Fern give that to him. Gods above. Crazy. Genuinely, did you give something like this to Himmel is my question. And what was his reaction? Tell me everything.
この下品な薬、買った時に私、
Are you jealous? That was a wild thing to do to your teacher. She literally dumped it on her head. Gods above. That was definitely something that the party gave to her. Ooh.
これがあったか。
Is that a letter written by Eisen for Stark? It's been at least 6 to 8 months since you've been traveling together, and now you remember the fact that you had a letter to deliver to him? Fair though, I mean, I forget 90% of the time, all of the time. So like, who am I to judge?
荷車を押すのを手伝ってくれてね。
ついさっきまで俺たちと遊んでたぜ。
木から降りれなくなっていたところを助けてもらったんです。
Oh, he's genuinely so kind. He genuinely reminds me of Himmel, okay? This entire party. And I'm not saying it from the sense of, oh, everyone is potentially someone who's going to replace Himmel, or Himmel is the greatest there ever was and all people can do is somehow reach at least a part of the potential that Himmel had. Like, that's not the intention. But yeah, just in this moment, we know Himmel is an extremely helpful person, and start doing all of these tiny acts of kindness reminded me so much of him.
シュタルク様があんなエッチな薬をもらって喜ぶようなはずが。
あの雲、おっぱいみたいだ。
エッチだった。
She formed a momentary crush on him. It dissolved immediately. Let's go. This is the kind of chaos I like in my life and in my characters.
こいつガキなんだ。
後でフェルンに教えてやろう。
リアクションに困るよ。
フェルン、ちょうどいいところに、あの雲さ。すみません。なんでもないです。
He's genuinely so afraid of her. With one look, he was like, never mind. I will keep my childishness to myself. I do hope that he's able to eventually share these childish things with her and she's able to enjoy them as well. Like, chaos like this is really helpful, especially when your past has been kind of and traumatic. So like, hey, I wanna look at clouds shaped as boobs. Why not? What's the harm?
シュタルク様の誕生日プレゼントです。
え？何かくれんの？
やっぱりなんか、ムカつくからあげない。
More like it's kind of sad, I guess, but okay. Oof. Someone bundle this kid up with gifts and rewards aplenty.
俺、誕生日にプレゼントとかもらったことがないんだ。そういうもんなのかと思っていた。単に俺が大事にされていなかったんだろうな。俺の故郷は戦士の村でさ。弱い奴の居場所なんかなかった。
God, that's annoying as hell. What do you mean? What do you mean? Why would you disregard a kid? Just because you think that he's weak. I don't like it. Poor baby boy. No wonder he was looking at the sword like, I wonder if I could pick it up. It would be a real show of strength, eh?
汚れ一つない白いマントは、この村最強の戦士の証。それに比べてシュタルク、あいつは失敗作だ。毎日あれだけ修行しているというのに、まだ一度も魔物とまともに戦えていない。
That's a kid! What is wrong with you? Oh my god.
時間の無駄だ。
シュタルク。
Oh, please be like, is this what it means to be bested by a kid? But more like fun as opposed to I'm going to smack you around for it. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. It's baby. It's just a baby.
いい集中力だ。
俺は故郷が魔族に襲われた時、そんな兄貴も見捨てて逃げちまった。
Stark, my baby, you are a kid. Oh my god. Just a baby boy.
家族から祝ってもらえなくて当然かもな。俺は逃げてばかりの失敗作だ。
シュタルク様、プレゼントを選びに行きますよ。
I am weirdly glad that she's not pitying him. She's like, what can I do to make you feel better right now? Let's focus on that. I like that. It couldn't be me, okay? Because I would genuinely just make them sit down and be like, you were just a kid. Like, it's not your fault. I would talk to them about it before being like, okay, what can I do to help you out right now? But yeah, I weirdly kind of like where Fern took it.
私の見てきた戦士シュタルクは、一度たりとも逃げ出していません。
この先逃げるかもしれねえぞ。
If you do, I'll drag you back in. Don't you worry about it.
私たちが逃がしません。
おかえり。遅かったね。
Is this show trying to get me hungry? Because I am extremely hungry right now and it keeps showing me big ass hamburgers and hamburger steaks. What am I supposed to do with this information, huh? Can't even eat it? Yikes. Sorry, I need to tone it back down. I'm hungry. Orpheus, I'm hungry.
誕生日と言ったらこれだろ？師匠もプレゼントはくれなかったけど、誕生日のハンバーグだけは作ってくれたな。
シュタルク、アイゼンから聞いてないの？思いっていうのは言葉にしないと伝わらないのに。
精一杯頑張った戦士をねぎらうための贈り物だ。
Oh, shut up. That's such a cute custom. Yeah, you should have definitely spoken about it. But you need to realize that sometimes kids are really perspective, okay? They will ask you 20 questions about the randomest thing on the planet. But they will never ask you the important questions. Sometimes. So like, should have told him like, here you go. This is me praising you. This is me telling you how awesome I find you. You are a hard worker. You got this. I believe in you. I do like the subtle ways of supporting and cheering someone on though. But I would much rather be like, tell me why it's important. So I can feel extra special about it. Hehehe.
頑張った者は皆戦士だ。
精一杯頑張った戦士。
ハンバーグ。誕生日だろ？親父たちには内緒だぜ。逃げろ、シュタルク。お前は生きるんだ。
No, listen, it wasn't even a physical gift, okay? It was just this food custom and tradition that warriors have been passing on. And he never knew about it. And that connected him instantly. Just this one thing that Frieren did instantly connected him not only to his master but also to his brother. And reminded him of the fact that he didn't just run away for the sake of running away. His brother asked him to, and so, oh, shut up. Oh my god. Oh, those tiny cracks, man, I'm telling you, right? Just break your heart nonetheless.
アイゼンからレシピをもらったんだよね。どう？美味しい？
あ
あ。あとこれ。まだ少し残っているから。また頭からかけますよ。フリーレン様。
Once again with those subtle gestures of appreciation, you know, like it was a recipe that he handed down so that it has this nostalgic moment to it all, like, oh, come on, so cute.
貴重な薬だよ。
どういう？
エッチ。
なんで？
エッチ。
いや、だからなんでだって！
And those were episodes 11 and 12. Poor baby boy, okay. I don't even know why you're calling him a pervert because he didn't even do anything. He doesn't even know about it. But okay, go off. That's your love language, I am assuming at this point. No, but genuinely wonderful episodes. I'm excited to see what the show gives us. I love that we are seeing a bit more of Stark's backstory and it kind of crushed me, let's be honest. I can't wait to see a bit more of Fern's backstory. I am genuinely enjoying this show and all that it has to give us. I do hope that sometime in the future they come back, like when they're traveling back home, they can potentially stop at the cave so that he can remove the sword or at least try to remove the sword. I don't know if he tried it or not. I would genuinely want him to. But yeah, fun stuff overall. This is honestly what I wanted from Frieren and it delivered. Let me know down in the comments what you thought about these two episodes, my theories and reactions. And I shall see you in the next one. Until then, like, share, subscribe. Bye bye. Take care. Toodaloo.